YouTube video 500 to me. This is the video of Kenkadzu, Gureitoshi. Kenkadzu is my character in Final Fantasy. I was going to do him with Cody, but heard a lot of things about Cleric, didn't notice the statue in the background there. Taking a lot of damage from time to time, and Conjure and White Mage. And other things with the job of going to Paladin. Conjure has to be part of it with Gladiator, 30 Gladiator, 15 Conjure. I wanted to get the Conjuring casting part of the Paladin out of the way first, and then concentrate back on melee. But the Regodans have some mind for Conjuring, along with their Constitution, which means they have the Constitution gives them a Constitution bonus, which should give them a hit point bonus or decent stature type for a Conjurer. I think most Conjurers have probably about 185 hit points, and we were running around with 3, then 500, and then I was trying to push it to White Mage. I'm not sure how much White Mage shares in Paladin, and then we ended up with, I think, 700 hit points as a Conjurer. So Rogan should have enough time to cast with their hit point structure based off of what arena they're in. There's always more damage, but most of the time some things hit for 50 or 100. I did have some problems taking that means, but if you get hit for 150 at 700, you should be at 550 or 520, give you enough time to cast Cure or get off your spell of Stone 2 or something like that, or a Medica, which is in Conjure in that means. It's fairly easier type thing than renegotiating 150 hit points off 168. And that is, some of my other videos show my hit points while fighting type thing in some of the full active time events. They're pretty hard. So this is still going to Paladin, and there's a statue in the background there. Right there, I did not realize that a lot of fellow pointing to different coast. That's hilarious. In that means we're in Vesper Bay, and we're in Color Your World. Deliver a bottle of orange juice to Swirgim out there, and this is going to make different colors. Now they give you a couple dyes. There are, if you look for in the shops of the merchants, you should see independent dye people, just like Conan O'Brien's commercial with the TBS TGN type thing, that type of sense of antithesis, where he made his own curtains type thing in India. Very difficult to imagine. Same situation. She gives you some dyes. They're not all the spectrums, and then you go in and you associate that color, which I'm going to have to put in through example, because it is difficult to believe once a different mind perception or mind gate comes in, because that gate's going to be right compared to the actual operation. And Vesper Bay, for those out there type thing, you have to go to Horizon and Western Thinner Line, and then go to the back of Horizon. You'll see a mine shaft type thing. Go into that and go down. When you go down, that'll put you in the footfalls. Go around its bend, and then once you go into that, you'll go into Vesper Bay. And hold on here, and that's where it says. So very complicated in that means. And this is Swirgim right there. Now I already had like an orange juice, and I never found the other gate of orange juice. It was reset. They said that she was at the north gate, and then I'm like, maybe she meant like the north gate of Uda in Thanaline. So that's where I went back to. And Tradecraft Girl had some orange juice with a culinary, independent culinary experts within the merchant stalls of Gridania. So I ended up getting my orange juice from there because they do +1 piety. Piety is part of your mana pool for, I think, casters. Yeah. And they do damage or healing recovery through intelligence or mind, but I think all of them depend on piety for their mana pool. Yeah. And pray tell if you brought me my orange juice, unless you've forgotten. You didn't forget, and the game didn't seem to reject that. I had like 10 or 14 of them on me at the time. I usually always travel with the culinary foods. I think the culinary experts in a diner, coastal Mediterranean diner in Limsa Limensa. Yeah. For the Mediterranean sandwich. Yeah. Okay, now you're going to select orange juice in your inventory, and yep, there's like 10 of them in there or something like that. Yeah. And then once you select it, it's going to be the item request, and then you're going to click hand over, and that's the orange juice, piety, vitality, and accuracy +1. Accuracy, the throw of your stone spell, or your cure, I guess, or vitality for your own hit points, and piety for your mana pool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There we go. And that went by pretty fast. And because you quenched her thirst, she's going to give you a die thing there. Yeah. Okay. Items called colorants, which allow folk to dye their outfits a veritable rainbow of colors. These colorants are so simple to use, adventurers have no excuse to be fashion unconscious. Yeah. And she does give you there's a lot there. Yeah. And that's the dye. She gives you like a stripper, paint stripper. I want to say turpentine, so that you can re-dye your clothing or turn them back into the original cloth that you had when you bought or acquired the material garment from Storyline or something like that. Which seems like, hey, I came up with a better risk that that's not possible, and so you're going to have to prove to me that that is possible for that to occur. And there it is. Removed by using an item called Terambith. Yeah. Oh man, I hit that thing. As usual. There's thinking circle, and there's Vesper, and and here, and right there, there's R2, and for your action traits, army trust, inventory, there's circle. That's your character. There's X going down. Going down is the actions and traits. X and R2. Yeah. X and R2. So R2 and X at the same time type thing that means. Like that. Yeah. And you pull back both of them, which I can't, I'm in a recording and I'm not in the actual video game to pop it up. But that's what you do. And that's directional buttons to move that up and down, not the sticks or the PlayStation button or the circle, square, triangle, or X. It's the directional buttons. It's not the back buttons or the L2s or anything like that. Just the directional. Just the directional. Yeah. To make it go up and down from that thing here. Okay, there's the die, and with that chair, but they're saying that you can also do die to beyond your gear. You could also, if you're operating a free company, do it to your furniture in your house. And then there's the hempen cowl right then and there. A cowl is really a cloak and a hood and Batman's ears, I believe. Yeah. But that's cool. Yeah. And that's intelligence 2 and mind 2 in there. Intelligence 2. And then mind 2. Yeah. And that's his defense and magic defense. And that's some racy dancing going on in the background. Oh yeah. No, yeah. Some of that too. Okay. Let's go back here. Now with the X's, that means here, all these X's mean that you can't acquire this color, but you have to purchase it in a store or through some other adventure or quest reward or something. They're not there present. They're not a selection possibility. They're not a possibility because you haven't acquired that color yet. And then there's the term bit right there. When she first gives you that, she only gives you like 3, but there's like 100 possibilities or something like that. And see, that one doesn't have an X on that one. That's that rose pink color. That one's like free in there. But I'm like, not shit. None of the oranges were there. That sucked. Same with the greens. That's pretty cool. There's a baby blue in there. Let's see here. That one. That's that blue, ice blue dye. And that has no X on it. And that's the shade it would make. Okay. And mud. Whoa. Hold on here. And there we go. Mud green dye. Ice blue dye. Pure white dye. Ice jet black dye. Metallic gold. That one actually got randomly. Yeah. Or no, I got it from that letter type thing. There was a Final Fantasy letter. Some people have been experiencing a problem with their dye selection or something like that, which I didn't even start at that time. And they sent people through their Moogle delivery. They should be in every village or so, or major city. What you want to do is when you get there, you'll see in your mini map, the circle map one, in your right corner, you'll see a chocobo. And you should see like a Moogle or something like a Moogle icon. Very, very tiny. That's the mail service. Go into that area, find a Moogle just floating around like it was like one of somebody's minions. And they should have the mail on them. And you can select them through using the cursor on them and then confirming them with X, and then that'll make them turn around and talk or something, or tap, or say excuse me. And then in that type of sense, you can talk to them and then they'll show you your mail, and you can see it in a dialog box on the screen, much like you're seeing Kenkadzu in his robe. And when you want to select the other different colors in that palette, you got L1 and R1, and they will show what the color is going to look like, but it's got an X for that current purple dye, and so I can't change through that. Okay, and then once you're on the square, X to confirm and make sure that's the square you want, metallic gold dye, and the dye lit up, and that's from your actions and traits on the R2 and X one, and then that's general, and then that's over, and then down. On general, actions and traits, general, over to that dye. And that's very complicated. And that means for APV, and then it's R2 plus the X key, and then on my controller, and somebody else is just a mouse click for computer players, and then it's R2 plus, I guess, that's R2 plus X, then that's your actions and traits, not your character profile. Those are two different things. And then from there, that's in the general, and if I want to indent that, that's general, and then from there, that's over to dye in that color. And that's there in that means. Okay, good. And then anytime that you want to select something, you'll use X to, like an enter key on a keyboard. So, that's a mouse feature. Here, that's a mouse feature and that's a mouse feature here type thing that means. That's an enter key on a computer, which it isn't, and that is a enter key there, and the X is the enter key in this game. So, you know, unless you're over clicking on something, then you want to use the escape key here on a computer, and if you want to do that, you want to use circle. And the X and circle look like they're the same key. There you go. Here, see, exits. Two different keys. Here are two different keys. Yikes. Okay, now, so we X that in there to metallic gold dye, and that's the jacket we're gonna get. And as long as you have that color in your inventory, you can do all the available equipment to that color. Oops. Let's see here. Rare and expensive gold dye used for coloring anything from cloth to metal, unsellable. $1.99. Total of 4 dyes on me in there. And most of the dyes are like 40 to 110 or something like that. And so now, that's the hempen cowl, hempen dress gloves, the strip cotton slopes, and the hard leather sandals. And some of the other things that you color you might not see on your character. And you can see other detail of your character. It works just like the map zoom with the square map, not the other mini map. You hit L1, that's L1, and the right stick at the same time. L1 and the right stick at the same time, and then you can zoom in and zoom out of your character. I know that sounds crazy in that means, but it is definite. And you dye the hempen cowl. Which I'm not in game right now to show that, but in some of the other videos later with my gladiator, when I put the free company insignia on my armor, you'll see me zooming in and out. Should be within the next 10 videos, definitely. Yep, there's a zoom in, or a little bit of a camera swing. Got his gloves, and it got his, there's the, kind of the robe, or the cloak part of it, taking that type of sense. And then there's the hood part. Sewn together. Traditionally, you would use a Batman thing to do that, to say cow, you know, and then that's here. A little bit of a handkerchief, same thing in that type of sense. And that's a cow, and that's a cloak. Like that type thing here. They're separate type thing that type of means. A cloak is like a clasp, or a cape type thing that means. I'm not sure if I can do one here, in that sense. And that's like a cloak type thing that means you cloak or clasp it around you. Yeah. And then you put a hood up on it type thing, which they didn't come with the hood. Normally it's part of a cowl. A cowl is a C-O-W-L. I know that's also weird type thing that means. Yeah. Just like I can't think of her name now. It's not Rachel McDowell. It's like a Slater thing or something. Yeah. She's on Bob's Burger with the pink bunny ears. Yeah. And it's not Kristen Stewart. It's not K Stew either. Yeah. But that's usually part of the cow when you add the ears. Take thing that means right there. But if you don't have any ears, it's a hood, you know, and that's what they're calling a cow. And it's COWL, I think. And it's very difficult, and it's easier to say it doesn't exist, and that means COW with the exclamation point. It's COWL, cow. It's a cow, a hempen cow, hemp rope, hemp robe thread, like silk robe thread type thing, silkworms. The robe, hempen robe type thing, made into a cow. And then shield, if you have leatherworking, I think it was leatherworking 13 or 10 or 11. I made that through the crafting of the leatherworking guild in Gridine. Okay, there, right there, and I got the sandals too. Yeah, got the gloves and got the hempen cow. The whole thing. Yeah, that is Kenkadzu. You can see his face there. Take the thing that means. Yeah, Kenkadzu Gureitoshi. Kenkadzu is a Japanese game, so I figured Japanese game. Well, let's go look at his shoes there, and like that type of sense. And that was a 15 level thaumaturge when I did that, and he had 286 hit points and 364 mana. Those are his technical points. For melee people, that's where their spent comes from, but so does their sprint, and it makes that 0, so you want to be careful showing up to battle with that. That's some of his resistances. That's his update gear list. You want to go to the top of that gear list, you'll see a little thumbnail which is like a reminder to it, but it isn't. It's a command. Yeah. And in that command, you're like, add another to the clipboard of my speed dial list. Yeah. And then it does. And then when you're outside of that, in this particular speed dial list, update the number to the equipment that I'm wearing, that I just currently switched on. And that one's difficult too, because your brain is like, switch this right now. And it's not a switchable thing. That's the actual command. Yep, and there it is. Thaumaturge, asterisk 10, registered. And the triangle disappeared. And the triangle on your controller. Wow. And that's my Targe shield right there. Targe. Maybe Target, like Target. Yeah. But that is the Targe shield. It might have been spelled with the J a long time ago. But current, I don't think it is. And that's the Targe level 13 shield leatherworking. And now, if you go with the cane, you can do more powerful spells. Take thing here, and I don't want to make it like a pickaxe. Take thing there, or you can get this like twig or branch, and take a shield. Oh, that's not good. So now, more power type thing, or a shield and a smaller wand type thing. No buckler, -2 pull through or -1 pull through on attack. I know I used to say that type thing, and it means If you're using a power attack which took off your base attack bonus type thing, so that's at -1 or something greater, plus your buckler next swing through type thing being at minus, then that's a fair minus on your D20. Now, for some armor classes out there, they're still easy to hit without True Strike. And True Strike is the answer without being that level. But at the same time, it is a -4 off your base attack bonus for the power attack and a -2 for that's a -6. And in that type of means, then that's off your D20 attack roll. If you're taking standard, typical 14 or 13 or 12 roll, then you had a 6 roll taking that means. Because that's -4 and -2. That's your base attack to create your power attack damage. If it's a two-handed sword, it's double. Otherwise, for every point of base attack up to 5, you lose a base attack in exchange for a damage bonus. But I don't think anybody else. That's a long story. And in that type thing, that means sometimes it's just easier, or not easier, type thing in that type of sense, to keep that. 4 plus 2 is still 4 or 2 type thing that means, and that's 4 there plus 2, and that is equal to 6. So it's a -6 off a D20 roll. And anyway, but that's the shield in there, the Tard shield, and I made that. I don't believe you can buy that in store. You just have to become a leather worker to do so. But it still counts as like a buckler-like size. Despite its size, it's kind of like a half shield or elbow shield compared to the whole hep-like chest elbow shield. It's like 2 feet to here. Other side of footfalls. Keep going, keep going. And there's no point in paying for the bird to Vesper when you can just pay for the one to Horizon and just walk the rest of the distance. It's really not that big of a deal. Yep, and that's how you get to Sweetgem for the color dye. That's the orange juice that we gave her. Oops. And there you go. And there's Color Your World. And they do a pearl white in there, or a bone white. Yeah, like a ivory white. Remember to cycle through that with R1 and L1. And R1 buttons type thing there. And then X to confirm. R1 buttons and X to confirm. And yes. So I still have my Green Goblin gloves type thing, so I went ahead and dyed those too. Here, okay. And got those. And that is Kenkadzu at level for our YouTube video 500 level 15 thaumaturge. And adding color to the world from yourself. know, stand in rejoicement. See, like, just... And happy 500 YouTube video, Kenkadzu. Really great job for myself, Chad Brown, putting up 500 videos of YouTube. And thanks for watching all the videos. And have a great one out there.